What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. This is WD Lounge, where we talk film, music, culture, and social events. And just so y'all know, we're going to be talking about what happened with the Super Bowl, but not much of the game itself, but all the shenanigans and all the stuff that was happening behind the scenes. What are we talking about? We're talking about Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. The drama continues. So for those who don't know what's going on, Stefon Diggs apparently had some invited guests come to the Super Bowl on his behalf for representation or support, so to speak. But unfortunately, that person that was invited was not completely welcome based on the plans that was made. So what am I talking about again? Well, Cardi B, according to reports, was spent about over $1.2 million for a spectacular weekend to fly out friends and family and have a big party, a Super Bowl post party for Stefon Diggs. For all you that don't know, Stefon Diggs played in the Super Bowl this past weekend. He was the wide receiver, one of the wide receivers that played. And apparently the play was that Cardi B flew out all these people for them to have a once in a lifetime party, which cost her $1.2 million. And apparently, so the deal was that when he got his ring first, she was going to get a ring. Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen because the Seattle Seahawks throttled the New England Patriots, and Stefon Diggs had probably one of his worst games he had in his career, but definitely this season. So as you could probably know, that didn't happen. So the ring didn't happen, and the ring didn't happen on Cardi's side. But the interesting part about it was that Cardi B left the actual Super Bowl right after the halftime show where she was performing at. You know, she was actually performing background dancer to Bad Bunny's halftime show. But she wound up leaving right after the halftime, and people were speculating as to why. Well, it turns out that the guest that Stefon Diggs invited was a woman named Bree. Now, Bree, to give you a little context, is her husband, Cardi B's husband's side piece, who wound up getting pregnant for her while he was with Cardi B. I mean, while Cardi B was with Offset. And I think at the moment when she was pregnant, they decided to not go through with it. And I think Bree held that close to her heart. And she seems like she's been on a mission to not only humiliate Cardi B, but to be a thorn on Cardi B's side. So what happens? She winds up not having the baby before Offset, but winds up being close friends with Stefon Diggs. Now paint the scenario, right? Real quick, right? Your husband, from Cardi B's standpoint, your husband has a side chick that got pregnant. And when you told the husband what it was, and she decided not to go through with it, now you and your husband, based on that reason of cheating, you and your husband break up, don't get a divorce, and you run and have a boyfriend, wind up getting pregnant for this boyfriend, have a baby for this boyfriend, support this boyfriend, only for this boyfriend to have the same chick that your husband was messing with be his quote unquote bestie. And based on the even more speculations that she probably has a child for Stefon Diggs as well. Y'all can't make this stuff up. I mean, it's drama after drama after drama after drama. And pretty much Cardi B's left out here looking crazy, you know, because she went out her way first to get that revenge thing, you know, a woman scorn. She went out. She's like, hey, if you do it, I'm going to do it too, you know. But in fact, I'm going to do it better. that's really pretty much her mindset. What her mindset was. So she went out there tricking and did her thing, got herself a boyfriend and stuff, but at the same time got knocked up. And the crazy part is she got knocked up by a person that was worse than her husband when it comes to cheating. To the point right now, if you're looking at the situation, her boyfriend right now, Stefon Diggs, is like, I think he has like 4 or 5 children in the last 3 months. 4 or 5 newborns all at the same time. He got like 4 or 5 different women pregnant, and you have a husband that was cheating and stuff like that. Got one woman pregnant. I mean, both options are kind of messed up when it comes to Cardi B's point of view. But at the same time, like when you weigh the options, which one were you better off at? Because now what happened is now you're part of the baby mama squad. And Cardi B probably thinking because of her status and the fact that she has the money and she's the superstar that she would be the main chick, when in reality Stefon Diggs got his system down pack and he pretty much has his favorites and who was already there at the point. I think what Cardi B served for Stefon Diggs was that it was great publicity, especially at the fact that he was on the Super Bowl run. Not to mention, he also had some charges that he accumulated. I think his personal chef filed a lawsuit or civil lawsuit or criminal. It was a criminal charge indictment. There you go. She's charged a criminal indictment on Stefon Diggs for battery and assault. And the Patriots and organization was able to have enough juice to postpone that arraignment till after the Super Bowl. And I think with the Super Bowl, the case, and having Cardi B as a public figure or public face to represent him in a different type of light, I felt like he probably used that to his advantage to get what he needed to get. But in reality, when everything didn't work out, he wound up losing the Super Bowl. He tried to humiliate Cardi, but when Cardi wound up walking out on him during the halftime show. So he lost his girl and he wasn't able to be consoled when he lost the Super Bowl. So not only that, apparently Cardi B had unfollowed him or blocked him, so to speak. Certain other people are speculating both. Either she blocked him or they unfollowed each other, but whatnot. But she ended off on that, and she pretty much didn't say anything. But apparently she had some responses. She had a response, and let's see what she says.
When I put some certain music or find my own followings, when it comes for today's events and stuff, I don't know if it's true. I don't think it's true. I don't care to find out because I've been single for a minute now, but I have been afraid to not afraid, I just don't know how to tell the world. But I feel like today has been like a sign. The last time I got on
there you go. There's her response right there, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know. My opinion is this. Sometimes when you're going through some things in life, the grass is not always green on the other side of the fence. In other words, I'm not saying to settle. I'm not saying to put up with what you're going through. But it's always smart to react by logic than by sheer emotion. And as you can see, based on what Cardi B did, every movement she's done from the moment she left Offset, which was like 2 years ago, for the last year and a half or 2 years, every single thing that's been happening ever since she separated from her husband, all her decisions has been based on emotional damage, basically. And that's not always good. You don't always get the best result when you react based off emotion instead of logic, because when you react off emotions, you wind up doing silly things like having a boyfriend, having unprotected sex, getting pregnant by the boyfriend, and then on top of that, the boyfriend having plethora of baby mamas and stuff. And you're a brand. And then on top of, not just on some regular mindset, or that this is not just as a regular person, not just for a regular person, but you have to also even think about the fact that you are a brand. You have sponsors, you have people that are paying you to be a face of certain products or entities and stuff like that. And then you got a tour coming up next week. So there's so many, there was so many things that you had going on. You dropped an album after 7 years after you dropped it. But you're going on tour while you're pregnant. You're showing the work ethic to all your fans and stuff like that. But now you're looking crazy to me, because all of based off emotional decisions. So what I'm saying is, going forward, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a situation where you feel like your situation will be better by just simply getting out of it, always do your research and evaluate. Take the time, whether it takes days, weeks, or months, and really process your situation and see if your situation is worth you crashing out about it and doing something that might be regretful later, or is it something that's gonna are you gonna make a decision that's gonna be logical enough to where you come out at least more of the winner than losing? Because right now, if I'm outside looking in, and right now it's not looking good for Cardi B. It's not looking good for Cardi B as far as sponsorships and the rollout of her her album rollout was already done, and her album is still out there right now. Not sure where it is on the charts, but I haven't heard really much noise about it. But just as far as the brand goes, you have a tour coming up and stuff. It's just you're in the news. You're on the rotation of us talking about you, and not in the light of your music or your artistry, but the drama that you pretty much emotionally got yourself into. But that's just my opinion. That's just me. I'm just going by a perspective of maybe of a little bit of experience looking out from outside looking in. No judgment casted, of course, but this, just analyzing everything that's happened from the beginning till now, and it's just not looking good. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Beat it up on the comments section. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. What do you think? What do you think is going on with this situation? Do you feel like Cardi B is cooked? Do you think her career will take a different trajectory, or do you think she'll bounce back from this, and this is like one of the best rollouts in the world, and her tour is going to be sold out because of this drama? Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.